Just Aaron, Question Period Canada. A little more solemn video this time. Brian Mulroney passed yesterday. Pierre Poilievre was lamenting him last night, saying some very kind words about this man that was a huge influence on Pierre Poilievre's political career and his life.
Tonight, I received a call from my very good friend, Mark Mulroney, who informed me of the terrible loss of his legendary father, a husband, a father, a brilliant businessman, a prime minister, a statesman. Our hearts go out today to Mark, Nicholas, Ben, Caroline, his 4 proud children, and of course his best friend, the love of his life, and his wife, Mila. But all Canadians grieve with them because they remember his incredible story. He was the son of an electrician who, despite those modest beginnings in a working-class community in Baie-Comeau, Quebec, rose to extraordinary heights in business. Before he even turned 40, he was the head of the Iron Ore Company, one of the greatest mining companies of all time. He then jumped into politics and won the biggest majority in Canadian history, later winning re-election. But it wasn't electoral success that defined his political career, it was what he did with it. As Prime Minister, he unleashed free enterprise. He crushed inflation. He signed one of the most important free trade agreements in the history of the world with the United States of America that remains largely in place today. And on the world stage, he stood firmly on the side of freedom and against communism in the Cold War. He was also one of the first and probably the most strident opponent of apartheid in South Africa. In fact, Nelson Mandela singled out Brian Mulroney, and by extension all Canadians, for his essential role in applying crippling sanctions against the apartheid regime that would help bring that racist system to an end. On a personal level, Anna and I deeply appreciate our friendship with Brian and Mila, having hosted them for dinner soon after I became leader to seek the advice of both of them in our new roles. And I know that all Canadians join with me in saying that we will miss that deep, beautiful, rich voice and that big, friendly, Irish smile. I think we can all agree that Irish smile, I think we can all agree that Irish eyes are smiling in heaven tonight. I would say that the lesson I take from Brian Mulroney is to always remember humble beginnings. He started as the son of an electrician in a working-class Baie-Comeau neighborhood. He worked like crazy to get himself a good education and pay his way through law school. But no matter how high he rose in politics, he remembered those humble beginnings. He remembered the struggle of his parents to put food on the table. And in everything he did as Prime Minister, he thought of the very same young kid who was born in those same circumstances and wanted to give that kid the same chance he had. And it reminds me that this is a country where it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters where you're going. It doesn't matter who you know. It matters what you can do. That's the country we want for all of us. We can turn this around. And he did. And as a result, millions of Canadians had the opportunity to work hard and own a home and live the Canadian dream. The advice he gave to me is give people that same hope as people go through similarly hard times today. The last time I spoke to Brian Mulroney was about 6 weeks ago. I had heard that his health had taken a turn for the worse, and I wanted to make sure to give him a call because he was in his 80s, and even then we didn't know exactly how long he had. So I called him up to get some of his advice, and his analysis of the political landscape. He was still following everything, knew everything that was happening both here at home and around the world. He had an incredibly encyclopedic mind. He could tell you what was happening in Swiss politics or in Taiwan on a given day. He loved to have conversation. He was a brilliant conversationalist and a wonderful storyteller. And I remember he said, actually did give me some other advice I'd forgotten about. It was the most important advice he gave. He said, Pierre, you have a brilliant wife like I do. And he said of Mila, he said, she is your best friend, she will be your best advisor, and she will be the key to your personal and political success. He was a great admirer of my wife, and he told me that he saw a lot of his family in the family that we're building now. That was very touching to us, and we'll always remember those cherished times we shared. Thank you very much, everyone.
So those are some very kind words and wonderful memories that Poilievre is sharing with everybody about Brian Mulroney. When Mulroney came in, times had been really tough, and there was a majority Conservative government elected, the biggest in Canadian history. They say that might happen again, so possibly times can turn around. They were bad before Mulroney. They did change. They improved. They went downhill again. He wasn't without controversy, but we won't be talking about that today. My name's Aaron. This is Question Period Canada. Thank you very much for watching. We cover all the Canadian politics here, so like and subscribe. Check us out. We'll catch you next video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.